everybody, welcome back. Jeff Hopper with Tracy Hanson, and we are here talking about 8 great traits from 2 Peter 1, where Peter writes, add to your faith goodness, knowledge, and a number of other traits, but the next one up is self-control. And when it comes to golf, we often think of, well, I can't get angry in the moment. I got to get to the next shot. But I want to talk to you about something more long-term than that, because one of the things that we've talked about before, in fact, when we've been on the golf course, is breathing and some things that put you in a controlled rhythm so what you're trying to accomplish doesn't go haywire.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, the adage that take that one deep breath right before you take the club back or as you're getting set up is not really the correct way to get your body into a nice relaxed rhythm. And so really it starts way before you even start your pre-shot routine.
Interesting.
And so developing a plan, like what is my pre-shot routine? What is it? How do I walk into the shot? How do I get prepared, get my yardage? But all of that happening under almost a breathing routine. Like you're in a rhythm, and so that rhythm is always what you can come back to. And it sustains you throughout the entire round rather than just a one moment.
Right.
Where you really don't have control in that one breath moment.
Yes.
But you gain control when you're in a sustained rhythm throughout the round.
Good. I think in my walk of life, with my faith embedded in it, I'm going to encounter things that surprise me.
Sure.
There's an element to self-control that says I need to respond correctly. But the truth is, I'm more likely to respond correctly if my life over the long stretch is lived under control. Mm-hmm. I'm not just kind of going willy-nilly, I'll do this today and that tomorrow. There's a plan that undergirds my ability to function correctly when the chips are down, when important questions get asked, when challenges come. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I love that idea that often things happen.
Yes.
And they surprise us, or it's not what we were hoping for. And so having flexibility inside of what life brings every day in our circumstances, and having that kind of that foundation, that bedrock beneath us is like, if this happens or if this happens, that I know that I can come back and respond this way. Taking the moment to step back and reflect before a reaction happens.
Right. Sometimes when Scripture talks about self-control, the translators will use this idea of sobriety to go with it. Are you sober-minded? Do you have self-control? That is, are you aware of what's going on? And I think a lot of times when we respond poorly, it's not because we lack self-control in the moment. It's we just lack self-control.
Right.
And one of the things I see happen, sadly, in kind of the Christian environment is people will make promises. They're going to say, oh, I do this, I'll be there for you. And they can't keep those promises because the next day, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to take care of that. And their priorities are so willy-nilly that the important things don't stay the important things.
Right, I agree. What just came to my mind is like, I will pray for you.
Yes.
Statement. And I'm guilty of this, is when people share something that's going wrong in their life or health issues, and I say, I'll pray for you. I have at moments that I'm going to do it right now, whether it's to myself or with them, but making that conscious effort and having a plan in place. Like if somebody asks me that, then like, am I going to respond right then? Because if I don't, it's just words, empty words floating out there in space. Yeah.
Self-control is something that we want to think of more long-term than we often do. We talk about it in snapshots most of the time. It's an interesting thing. We live a faith where we recognize we're not in control, and yet we're called to self-control. We're going to encourage you in that. You may today be thinking of this differently than you've ever thought of it. And we would just like to say, you can do this because faith is first, and Christ will lead the way as you try to establish more self-control in your life.